Before the video starts, be sure to head down to the description and donate to my End of 2020 fundraiser for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the video. Hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here. Welcome to the first official episode of James's TVlogs, and I have a special guest with me.
Hello.
Hi, Ann. How's it going?
You said that like I'm an acquaintance. Like, hello, Anne.
Hello,
partner.
Hello, Mrs. Gwendolyn. Today we are going to be talking about the first two episodes of Wandavision. This is after 2020 was basically the year without a Marvel. We have these first two episodes of the new Disney Plus series WandaVision to kick off 2021. We're going to be going full spoilers with these, so if you haven't seen the show yet, go watch it because it's really good, and then come back and you'll hear our thoughts on it. And then we're going to be doing weekly recaps of all the episodes as they release, and then I'm going to do like a full bucket list breakdown of the whole series at the very end of it. So first off, general first impressions. Babe, what did you think of these first two episodes?
They were really fucking good.
Well, first off, what were you expecting? Were you expecting anything going in?
I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. Like, going by the trailers, there was a lot of black and white, and there was some color, and I wasn't sure whether or not the story would take place like in a show or if it would be like real life but twisted.
That's the one thing I would say about the advertising is it's way too kind of revealing about what the show is. Basically, if you've seen the trailers, you know what the show is going to be about. Basically, Wanda Maximoff, played by Elizabeth Olsen, and Vision, played by Paul Bettany, they are in they've sort of created this like sitcom world for themselves, and from the trailers make it look like they're going to be sort of warping into different sitcom styles. Like, these first two episodes took place in a very 60s Dick Van Dyke Show, I Love Lucy type of sitcom, black and white, 4:3 aspect ratio, laugh track, all that stuff. You also see in these two episodes that something is clearly up. Like, not everything is as it seems, but like, you kind of already figured that going in, like, unless you're completely detached from the MCU sort of canon and lore, you kind of figure something might be up. So that's the one kind of con that I have, is the advertising should have been a bit more vague. But apart from that, I really fucking loved these first two episodes. I thought that as a like play on 60s sitcoms, I thought that they did it really well. I loved all the little like the quirky sort of jokes and all the like little side characters. Agnes is now my favorite Avenger. I love the humor throughout the two episodes. It's a mix of like what you'd kind of expect, like quirky sitcom humor, like really cheesy and stuff like that. But then there's also just genuinely just funny humor, like
masticulation.
Yeah. And it also does a really good job to, you know, call back to the various like sitcom isms, like what you were mentioning earlier, the advertising in between the little jump cuts and shit like that. Like the Stark Industries toaster, which was a really funny Easter egg. There's a watch commercial that has a nod to Hydra on it. That sort of stuff is really funny. What did you think about how the show like presented itself and stuff like that?
First off, as someone who used to have a huge love for like 60s and old aesthetics and vintage type stuff, I absolutely loved it. They nailed like the aesthetic, and like I feel like there's some points where it feels like you're watching a 60s movie, and then like when things start to make a turn and like the reality doesn't seem to be quite right. I feel like that's with the camera angles especially, and when like it's on Wanda's face and for a moment, it's almost like she's kind of realizing there's something off, but at the same time, she is so immersed in her world that she can't quite put a pin in it, you know?
It almost feels like Jordan Peele directing a Marvel movie, which, saying that out loud, makes me really wish that he was directing a Marvel movie.
I could see that.
I feel like for this, and especially like Doctor Strange 2, like his sort of really uncomfortable style would kind of work for that, I feel like.
It would really work.
They do a really good job playing off that. Obviously, they don't want to give away too much, but they do clearly hint that something is up. I'm sure people who have read the comics or know the backstory are more well-versed in that. No, I'm really excited to see where the story goes. In terms of the episodes themselves, they're sort of basic like sitcom plots, which I feel like you kind of needed to do to, like, you know, get us settled into this world. Like the first one is like, oh, you know, they've just moved in and they have to have a successful dinner party with the boss, and everything kind of goes to shit and they have to make it work. And then the second one is, oh, they're taking part in a talent show for the children, and Vision is swallowed gum and is not quite right in the head.
He's drunk on gum.
I love the fact that is what made him start acting up, is he just swallowed gum.
Wait, when that happened, I was thinking, like, why didn't he just use his power to take the gum out of himself?
Because comedy.
Because comedy. I like that they're very simplistic. I feel like it's building up to something bigger. Yeah. And I like that it's a slow climb, but at the same time, it's not like to its what's the word I'm looking for? That it's not to its fault. Like, it's not going too slow, it's not going too fast, and it's enjoyable. You're sitting there and you're like, oh my god, this is so charming, this is hilarious. And now there's a colorful helicopter in this bush.
Yeah. It is at its core a very like charming series. Like Wanda and Vision are absolutely adorable together. And they both do great. Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, they haven't really been given much in the MCU as of yet. So I feel like giving them their own show was a really smart idea, because it gives them a chance to, number one, it gives those two a chance to develop more as characters and develop their relationship. And number two, it gives Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany a chance to stretch their acting chops. And Paul Bettany especially was really, really funny in these first two episodes. Like, well, yeah, since Vision is kind of like the straight man, he's the robot who doesn't sort of understand our customs. He doesn't really get a chance to be like sort of goofy and quirky and stuff like that. So,
oh, I could do reactions. Sorry. Well, I don't really want to say their actors have a connection, because they have their own lives. They're just acting. Their acting is great, and their characters have such a strong connection. It's so cute, and you can see it. You know, okay, I need to rewatch the old movies as well, because I feel like I have a slight disconnect from that, because I don't quite remember like Wanda and Vision's original backstory, where, like, weren't they in like an apartment together for some reason during the Civil War movie?
So I will admit, like, their whole kind of relationship was sort of like clunkily put together between Civil War and Infinity War. Like, you can still sort of buy their connection, but at the same time, you're kind of like, where did this come from?
That's where I'm at. I'm like, wait.
But it's not.
Wait, where in between did this happen? I remember they were like in the apartment as decent friends, and now they're married, and I think it's very cute. And, you know, I feel like the episodes here kind of make up for that disconnect, but you still wonder, like, where did that come from?
I don't know. It's probably like I said, it's in between stuff that we probably didn't see. Like maybe after Age of Ultron, they just got really close together. Like maybe after the death of her brother, Vision just decided to comfort her, and she decided to teach him about how humanity works and stuff like that.
I know that wasn't your original question. That's just where my brain was at because, like I said, I do love them as a couple, and their connection is very adorable. And, like, it's great. I love it. You enjoy seeing them on screen together. They're not a couple that, like, makes you go, ugh.
Right.
It's too forced. It doesn't work.
And
like,
and
it does in a way. They're both very unusual.
And it's fitting that these two got their own sitcom style show because they do feel like a sitcom couple. Like they're just, the two newlyweds trying to get by, and they're different, but they're going to make it work and be there for one another. And it's just really sweet and charming. And, obviously it's building to something really big and kind of maybe even sinister at the same time, but still, like for that brief little period of time, you're like, oh my god, that's so adorable.
I'm scared that these episodes are gonna break my heart.
I'm
so scared to get attached because I'm like, Marvel isn't the type of movie shows industry to go breaking their viewers' hearts.
Well, this is the same studio that killed off half of their universe just for the heck of it. And like those of you that are like well versed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe probably know where the story is headed. For those of you that won't, and for you, babe, watching, I won't say anything more, but it's clear that, something is going to go wrong, and it's going to open up something that will most likely be solved in a later either series or movie or I don't know. I won't say anything more because I'm probably going to step on toes and give things away. What did you think of the side characters? I know we don't see much of them, but they still had a pretty strong presence.
All right, so there's I think 2 or 3 characters I want to touch on. First, Agnes. I love her. She's a powerful Marvel figure, best Avenger ever. And I love that she just comes up and she just happens to help the plot. She's like, here, I've got a meal for 4 just ready because I am a perfect housewife.
She's like Wilson from Home Improvement.
Here, I have a pet rabbit that you can use for your magic act. Man, how can you guys sit through this meeting sober? She's great. I love her. She's hilarious. The next character, Dottie. I feel like it's interesting that interaction she had with Wanda when Wanda was asking her if there was anything she could make up, and Dottie was basically telling her that she knows there's something up with her and Vision, and she doesn't trust them.
See, that's the thing I'm wondering too, is like how many of these like, goofy side characters are actually like
more than they seem
personified versions of like real people that are going to show up in future episodes or movies or be part of some bigger like scheme that's happening. Like, what if Agnes is the new villain?
Oh no.
Agnes will wipe out half of humanity.
God. And then there's, I think her name was like Gwen. She, black figure, very assistant like the black lady. I didn't catch her name, but she's very sweet. I wonder how because it seems like she and Wanda are going to be friends.
They have actually said that she is a character that we have seen already. For those of you who don't know, I'm not going to spoil it.
We've met her. Anyways.
But yeah, I think those 3 are going to play like the biggest roles in the long run. But as they are, like they worked for what they were supposed to be, which is basically just the stereotypical sitcom archetypes.
One more thing I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
is the Beekeeper at the end.
Yeah.
And when she
motherfucker
was
looking like
pregnant,
he's climbing into the upside down.
So two more things. I'm sorry, I know this is gonna be a long video for you to edit, but one, how can she be pregnant with a robot's baby? Who's the real father?
Because Vision forgot to pull out again.
What do you mean again?
Anyway,
anyways, that, and then the Beekeeper. I don't know if you knew more about that than I did. This is why you may not have touched on it, but and then what? Wanda said no, and then it went back. It rewinded. Could that have been her, or would that have been that other force? And does she know more than what we know? Or does she know more than what she seems to know? I don't know if I'm making any sense.
It's hard to tell. Like, she clearly knows, like, she's clearly knows something, but whether she's, like, blissfully ignorant, which would be kind of dumb, or she just chooses to stay in this, like, fantasy world because she doesn't want to either... She doesn't want to live in a world without Vision, or she doesn't want to she sees herself as too dangerous for the outside world. Whatever the case may be, she is clearly running from something. And between the lady at the desk at the end and the Beekeeper and everything like that, like I said, it's clearly building up to some sort of reveal that we will see in the next coming weeks. And in terms of her being pregnant, again, well, for one, that's another like sitcom trope of, oh, now they have kids and they're raising a family. How will they do it? Oh, those cute couple. But also, I think that might be them setting up the Young Avengers, because between Wanda and Vision's kids, who might be like mutants that already exist or something like that, Ironheart, Spider-Man, and a few others. Like, I think also Cassie Lang is going to be in Ant-Man 3, and she's going to be like suiting up or something like that. So they're clearly setting up for like Young Avengers. Aww. So their kids might play a bigger role in future stories.
So Wanda and Vision do actually have a kid in... Well, no, because Vision's dead. What?
It's so weird when you're dealing with this type of show where you don't know what's real and what isn't.
Reality can be whatever Wanda wants it to be. All right. If she wants to have a baby with Vision, even though he's dead, she can have a baby with Vision, even though he's dead.
Exactly. So final thoughts and rankings for both of these episodes.
I think this is gonna be a really good show. I'll give it 5 out of 5 chocolate-covered strawberries for both episodes. And we'll split each of those by 3.
Yeah, I would give it, I'm stuck between a 4.5 and a 5 out of 5. Like, anything, like, bad that I could say to keep it from a 5 out of 5 is ultimately just nitpicking. Like, this is a really, really promising show. I'm very excited to see where it goes. I love the aesthetic. I love Wanda and Vision's chemistry. I love all the side characters. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. So any other final thoughts?
It was a great couple episodes, and I'm kind of sad that there isn't a third one.
That about does it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Anne, for joining me for this these first 2 episodes.
Thank you for having me.
And I can't wait to see the next one. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on these first 2 episodes of WandaVision. What did you think of them? Look forward to more TV logs coming very soon. WandaVision, I'm going to finish WandaVision before I start any other series. But if you have any other ones that you want to see me cover in the future, like leave them all down in the comments or submit them to the bucket list. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social medias. Subscribe to my main channel. All that stuff will be in the description. Starting to act like my mom. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you again, Anne, for joining me. And I'll see you guys later.